I guess the story of Exlr8 began a dozen years ago or more when we started with a bunch of life skills and values seminars presented in high schools around Queensland that could help young people address the issues of sex, drugs, rock and roll, bullying, harassment and disregard, peer group pressure and some of those really deep questions of life. And as we would go to school year after year after year, we'd see young people make their amazing discoveries and responses as they would engage the content. Through all of that, we saw a gap in the area of leadership development. We saw schools trying to make a real fist of leadership development with senior students. And more often than not, their Year 12 year was one of token, where school captains, they presented parades and they might represent the school at civic functions and those kinds of things. But in terms of effective leadership of student body and mentoring and developing younger students, there wasn't a real lot happening in those areas. The majority of stuff on offer was all about technicalities and methodologies of how leadership functions. We saw the gap in the area of character development leadership solution.
With the waves crashing in on me.
And we've developed a process called Exlr8 that is aimed at both developing the inner character of a young person around 4 super values of wisdom, justice, courage and self-control. And around those 4 values there are other ideas like mercy and hospitality and really important values and virtues that can give a young and emerging leader the kind of foundation on which they can, well, not only ask good questions, but begin to provide meaningful solutions. We were able to come up with a pilot project over a 4-day camp that delivered far beyond anything I could ever have hoped or dreamed or imagined. In fact, I think if I died and went to heaven tomorrow, I'd be a happy man, feeling that we've left behind a project that really can support and help young people develop as young and emerging leaders to impact the world today.
Somebody next to me has had an idea. If we implement this plan.
How you going? I'm Woody. I'm the resident muso with Exlr8. Reese originally asked me to be involved in this launch, but when he explained to me what the program was about, I thought I've got to be involved in the whole thing. My expectations about the program? I was hoping that the young people involved would be challenged on their attitudes towards leadership. But the effect that the program had on some of the young people was just life-changing. Some of these young people are going to be world changers.
Over these 4 days, we saw young people stretch to within an inch of their capacity. The whole process of liminality, of immersing young people into difficult circumstances that got them off balance was part of the strategy. But then our role in all of that was to support these kids in the context of being off balance, so that they knew it was a safe environment. And the celebrations that followed on each of the camps and each of the 4 nights, the 4 final nights of each camp, was just absolutely amazing. Exlr8 is an amazing thing and it's a privilege to be involved.